И поехали дальше. Следующая миссия. End of the line.
She came home.
Ого.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing.
Это был повод семью собрать.
Known to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
Birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Хорошо.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Типа, что в конце всего этого пути, связанного с местью. Понял? Классический. Так, не, мне нужен ICA Silver Baller. Все, меня устраивает. Погнали. Чё долго сиськи мять?
Thornbridge Manor.
Thornbridge.
The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her three adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
This is a private area, sir.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle.
Please wait. Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa...
Ага. Просто будем преследовать этого парня. Да иди, что ты встал? Кошка? Опс, я уснул.
Mr. Whitmer, thank God you're here. Can I take you to Madame Carlyle?
Please do.
If you'd follow me.
Отваленка флешбеки с этими локами.
I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange. Preparing for Madame's funeral and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary. And all this security. I've never seen the place guarded like this and I dare say I don't like it at all.
Huh? Okay.
This is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside. Oh, I could just cry.
Ah. Sir, I just need to check.
That's a bit excessive, I think, considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
You know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
Кошечка, ну не надо по столу лазить. Ну залезь ты на меня, господи. Какой же он аккуратный, а? А вот и она.
Mr. Whitmer, thank you for coming on such short notice.
Как же он хорош,
Great
хорош?
tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution. Handled
Yes,
with
I will.
absolute discretion.
Смотреть не... Ну я стал лучше.
Discretion are my speciality.
Да, это правда, да. Эффективность и
Very well.
конфиденциальность, это правда.
I suppose you will want
Это
to
я.
start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am
Thanks,
Mr.
Bay.
Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlyle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Whitmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr.
Refreshments?
Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir.
Блин, мне так нравится, что он действительно с такими вот этими британскими штуками разговаривает. Типа не просто там can I offer you a drink, да, или
I'll be
типа
obliged to
того.
point out that
А
current
типа want
affairs
some
surrounding
refreshables?
Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the
Уходя, я буду считать, что она мертва, он сказал.
crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was
Да, I'll consider, да, типа или как-то так он сказал.
However, Madame
Рукот, спасибо.
Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene.
Спасибо большое, Рукот, за донат.
To my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
О, труп.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him.
Ого.
Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47.
Ленинград. Уж лучше бы эти. Саша СТ? Ой, СТ я помню. Ой, у меня костюм сломался. Восстановился? Да. Стилфак. Привет, Настенька. Тут у нас донатики от Рукода необычные.
Sir?
Кошка, ты опять застряла во мне, а? Привет, привет. Артиста. Как неожиданно такое от Рукода слышать. Как обычно, кринжа навалил. Но я даже не знаю, что кринжовее. Уже мужчина, ну да. Я не знаю, где улики. Я вроде все осмотрел. Но я методом брутфорса смотрел, поэтому, может, что-то не так. Водка Урса, видел? Медведь. Это ж не сам Рукод поет, ну почти. Посмотреть.
Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
Да. Так, понятно. Это улика. Предсмертная записка.
Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be
Прошу
relevant
прощения.
compared to other samples to establish its authenticity.
Так, authenticity. Нам нужна рукопись. Тут. Так, это просто шкаф.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to
6
see
из
the plot.
6.
I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Ну, его кто-то убил. Это понятно. Только кто, может, сам Дворецкий? Ну, вообще его сестра убила, скорее всего.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning.
Конечно.
Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
Блин, прикольно.
This is very useful information, 47.
Подозреваемые. Мистер Фернсби. Патрик. Эмма, Ребекка, Эдвард, Грегори, Закари умер. Ну, кстати, он же подозреваемый.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47?
How does one
Motive
solve a murder?
means an opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Making you wash his car twice? Patrick's parents did not do a very good job.
I'm fine. It's all part of the job.
Yo, Anne, what's up? Relax, man. I said I'd get you money. It's just gonna take a little longer. Jeez, and how's that my fault? Calm the fuck down, Ant. You know I'm good for it. I'm a Carlyle. I'm made of money. Just lean back and enjoy the interest.
I'm a Carlyle. I'm made of money.
No, Christ, I'm gonna hang up. Let's talk when you calm the fuck down.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you?
Ого, что она со шваброй сделала.
Don't tell mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that it?
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Хорошо. На редкость болтливый мальчонка.
Just remembered I went for a stroll behind the greenhouse last night. Maybe that's where it is.
What is?
My lost button. The one you couldn't find at the graveyard. Wouldn't it be a good idea for you to go and look for it now? A good idea.
Hey, so
I...
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Same.
Опа. Тут охрана развлекается, значит, да?
Hello, sir.
Какая-то беззаботная подруга. Я ж тебя могу шлепнуть прямо здесь и сейчас. Загадочный переключатель. Ага, в него что-то вставить надо. Так, подозреваемый. Я могу ее как-то выделить или типа того? Не, мне походу самому их искать, да? Тут-ту-ту. Ладно. Пойдем с первого этажа. Так, тут пацаненок. Давай. Справа. Так, тут я вырубил пацана.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Рози. Это подтверждает теорию. Значит, это не он. Стаффрум. Нам в стаффрум не надо. Нам надо в обычном доме ходить. Объеденный зал. Подожди. Тут что-то лежит. Мне нужен фотоаппарат.
You always led by example rather than by word.
Речь Эдварда. Черновик прощальной речи Эдварда Карлайла. Почерк отличается в предсмертной записке. Ага.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Скипать двери? Какие двери?
Dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'll never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort.
Грегори.
We went to the Stag's Head around 8:30.
Офис Закари. Есть офис Закари?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. If that's all, I have a...
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came to bury
Fernsby.
our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother will surely have a strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Так, этот там где-то с Грегори ходил, он сказал, весь такой. Так, где это было? Что я там проскипал, ты сказал? Это было вот здесь. Я просто думал, что мне надо в офис Фернсби, когда это...
41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now. I know I have to, but...
Когда мы закончим расследование?
I'm gonna be a dad.
You'll be fine, Robbie. Kids are great.
Я, конечно же, гений отмычку не взял, да? Сабля. Так. Крысиный яд, утюг. Я забыл отмычку. Иди лом ищи. Сейчас пойду.
I need to stop thinking about Emma all the time, but she just makes me so angry.
What is it now?
Elaine says she saw her on the top floor, stroking the door to Alexa's office.
Так, во-первых, хотелось бы... Ломик на улице? А, я думал поискать какое-нибудь подвальное помещение. Рок. Отвертку было бы классно заиметь, но ладно уже. Так, бейсбольный мяч. Да, по-любому где-то вот в такой зоне, где разгрузка, погрузка.
Life can be tough sometimes.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, all too much.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
Я думаю, никто не свяжет 2 и 2. Ломик и ломик в руке у детектива. Чё странного? Допрашивает семью погибшего. Так, сюда я пробрался. Бум.
I know. I guess I thought she was gonna read into them and freak out. Say I must have done something to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline really did a number on you.
Почерк отличается от почерка в предсмертной записке. Опа, это что?
Zachary's diary. This is big.
Пойди, где?
He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
Ну, это я понял.
Did all the groceries arrive? I heard some of the delivery people.
Это не суицид, это не мистер Фернсбей, хотя у него был мотив. Не все забрал. Да кого еще там просто кочерга была и что-то типа того. Скелетон. Ключ-скелет. Смертельный яд.
Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings.
Please stay back.
Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
Даже не знаю. Вообще не... Не, про невнимательность ты прав. Вот сейчас я в прошлой миссии достаточно не обосрался, а в этой обосрался. Кстати, место с отверткой. Мог гораздо тише пробраться. Предохранитель, пусть будет. Это машину заводить в случае отхода.
Why waste away in front of the books when he can play like that? That music makes my heart soar.
You and me both.
Это один из наших подозреваемых, да? Ну тут прям реально большое детективное дело.
Pours emotion into that instrument.
Quite the poet. But you're right. It's beautiful.
Madame Carlyle must believe Zachary was murdered. Why else ask him to snoop around? I feel weak in my knees from all the tension here.
Вставай, пообщаемся. Или мы с тобой уже все обсудили? Мы уже, видимо, все обсудили. Пирожного отравить, говорит, можно.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint.
Вроде совпадает.
I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last
По-моему, там
shower,
они не были в баре,
back,
нет?
just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very thorough, are you?
Это позиция на всех досках в игре? Не, ну сейчас бы с таким минусом по материалу еще и победить. Не, ну у белых слишком минус материал. Какая красивая штучка.
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Мне нужна какая-нибудь надпись его рукой, да, или типа того. Отравить. Или мы его не сильно подозреваем, этого Грегори? О, здравствуйте, миссис Эмма.
Can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Так, что-то всем он показался оживленный, и все у него хорошо. А она говорит, что он какой-то депрессивный, да? Но она убийца, что-то мне вот так подсказывает. Не понимаю мотив. И было бы здорово найти образцы почерка, чтобы напрасно не гундеть.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 8:45.
Mm-hmm.
I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Не вопрос, занимайтесь. Так, просто. Так. Как бы изъебануться, как бы.
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Жетоны дворецкому, что? Ладно. Допустим, это важная информация.
Sir, I'm gonna have to pad you down real quick.
Так осматривали уже, дурак. Мне не до этого. У меня есть дела в этом здании. Так. Мне нужны образцы подчерка Эммы.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Oh, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Ну, я ведь правильно мыслю, мне очень нужен образец ее почерка. Где его добыть, я правда ума не приложу. Опа, фоточка. Нет, не оно, да, наверное. Портрет Монтгомери Карлайла, старшего брата. Окей. Тут еще есть второй этаж, это я понимаю. Ну, вообще, да, есть шансы, что игра мне покажет места для фотографирования удачные. На улице пара мест. На улице, да, там где-то за гаражом. Просто заходим, господи. Дневничок? Ноты или что? Не, это дневник. Ребекка.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Ну, она не врала. У них у всех потайные комнаты есть.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan, Yates and Cohn. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlisle account HTC depot number 5.
Опс. Придется загружаться куда дали. Не хочу я вот этим вот, блин, я хочу Silent Assassin. Чистейшего. Кошка, отвались. Так. Поехали фотографировать. О, тут есть образцы ее почерка, да? Документы. Несанкционированные операции. Ну, ой, какая неожиданность. Карлайлы занимаются какой-то фигней. Вау. Тут тоже есть что-то сфоткать. Нет. Не знаю, может, со стороны улицы надо сделать фотографию.
Bad news, I'm afraid. We don't have any extra fuses. Ethel looked everywhere.
You've got to be kidding me. No power, no portrait.
Oh, Madam Carlyle will be furious. She expects the family photos to be done any moment now.
I need this shoot to happen, okay? And I need it.
Чего? Следы? Ну, это следы куда-то сюда ведут. Подожди, у меня Шерлок включился похлеще, чем в той отдельной игре про Шерлока. Так, ты тут пианинькаешь.
You have a way with words, Stan.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Прошу прощения, так бывает. Я иногда руиню вещи. Угу. Но она невиновна, это я понимаю.
Aaron Ford Jr. calling from Morgan, Yates and Cone. I need to get a listing of asset transfers from the Carlisle account HTC depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately. Yes, I'll hold. Yes, I'm still here. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right. I'll double check and get back to you.
Это еще 47-й, ты понял? Ура, 48-й. Не, ну если где-то есть 40...
Strange. Perfect.
Мне интересно, что там происходит. Что там у тебя за дела были в ноутбуке?
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlyle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
Артур украл все у Алексы. Окей, дальше что? У меня-то, конечно, да, талант расследователя и все такое. Но я тут за другим делом. Я тут вообще-то убийство расследую. Опахало. Сам ты опахало. Это пипедастер. Опахало. Тут тоже есть какая-то секрет-рума. Так, ну тут я все уже.
You're not supposed to be here.
Да пошла ты, блин, подруга.
Don't you dare. Oh, damn it. Alexa. Take him down. Take him.
Ой. Вообще-то ты здесь, чтобы ликвидировать Алексу и найти досье на Эдвардса. А я что-то в детектива заигрался, знаешь. Мне хочется расследовать это дело. Кто убил ее брата? Так. Хочется как можно больше выяснить, понимаешь? Так. Сейчас мы по вот этому старому доброму методу.
Asset transfers from the Carlyle account HTC. Aaron Ford Jr. calling.
Bingo.
Ну, я вот сейчас не знал, что зона запретная, типа, тогда бы я хорошо справился. Так.
It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right.
Хорошо. Сейчас мы какие-то там сведения получаем. Окей. Поползли. Пожаловаться и убить. Так, там комната Закари находится. Оп, тут мне можно находиться. Я же из этой двери и вышел из маленького кабинета. А потом туда зашел, и мне такие, что это мы тут забыли? Какие у нас дальше есть комнаты? У нас есть вот это крыло неисследованное. Погнали. Угу.
You know who I am, who my grandmother was, right? Just relax.
Извоз. Так, там что-то недоисследованное есть, но я чуть не пойму, что. Погнали. Трость. Красивая, кстати. Туфли. Мне туфли надо исследовать на предмет следов, да? Совпадает с отпечатками на террасе. Трость посмотрел, не взял. Так, у 47-го нет никаких проблем с ногами. Письмо от матери.
Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
И правда, сюжет закручивается. Брелок,
A
связки
keychain
ключей.
pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
Это всего лишь нож для писем. Там я могу подняться еще выше. Там могут быть еще же какие-то элементы. Так. Я не понимаю, что вот это значит. Трость возьми. Так нельзя же. Она же красненьким подписана, смотри. А, все, это просто был этот квестовый предмет. Ну иди обратно. Кто ж знал? Что ты такое? Так а зачем она мне с собой? А она законный предмет, да? Хорошо. Я понял. Спасибо, что намекнул. Классическая монета. Письмо Монтгомери.
Never opened. Must have slid under the secret door nearly 46 years ago. It states that Alexa Carlyle's older brother, Montgomery, wanted Alexa to become the heir to the Carlyle Empire instead of himself. Interesting. You're an excellent detective, 47. Uncovering truths half a century old. If you frame it correctly, I believe you could use the information to convince Madame Carlyle that Zachary committed suicide.
I should get back to... Right, yeah.
Maybe you should ask Mr. Fernsby to see her. Or perhaps you feel like digging a bit more.
Hey, how you doing?
Я буду пока ходить с тросточкой, типа я крутой. Так, нам остались сад и вот это вот оранжерея, да, я полагаю? А, не, ну оранжерея, она в саду. Так, нам туда через гостиную лучше выйти. Как вам моя трость, господа? Скажите, я с ней прекрасен. Да, вот оранжерея, а там слева у нас еще какая-то локация. Но мы сходим, посмотрим, наверное. Так, ключ где-то от оранжереи должен быть, насколько я помню.
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. We'd only just run through his plan for the spring seedlings yesterday.
Yes, sure. But he was upset believing his sister was dead.
Посмотрел видео, какое?
Broken lab equipment. It looks like it was recently used, though.
Ого. Я из рвотного яда сделал смертоносный. Сохранить? Еще не поздно, я надеюсь. А то я наделал говна. Спасибо, спасибо. Но это не лучше мой этот. Я там этот. Мы что-то тогда уставшие такие были. Я прям переволновался. Не просканил. О, точно, тут же есть записи.
This is a table showing lethal dosages for the poison used to kill Zachary.
Something is circled 47. Female, age 65 to 79, 60 to 64 kilograms. I'd say Madame Carlyle is next in line for a poisoning. You have uncovered enough evidence to tell Madame Carlyle that Emma is the murderer. Quite the detective, 47. I'm impressed. I suggest you go tell Mr. Fernsby.
Блин, мне интересно сначала сходить посмотреть, что там за локация. А потом уже все остальное. Мне сюда можно? Там руины.
No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlyle's office was repaired last week. He had to carry some heavy bolt to the top floor. He complained about back pain for the entire weekend.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
Это да. What the fuck is you? А, это просто шланг. А, это кладбище.
wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the birds. They're making a racket, droppings everywhere. The undertaker wants them gone before he'll see Madame Carlyle. He's in a right state. So, unless you want to take on the birds, I suggest you stay clear of him.
Oh, no, my aim's horrible.
Madame Carlyle is still going ahead with her staged funeral tomorrow, and she wants to inspect the arrangements. How about it, 47? You feel up to giving her the grand tour of her final resting place?
Safer for everyone if I just wait here till he says he's ready for Madam.
Все, я открыл кладбище. По-моему, он где-то около кладбища ключ терял от оранжереи, но это уже не так важно.
I love autumn funerals. Madame Carlyle isn't dead, so there is no funeral. Not if you ask me. I still think it's going to be a beautiful.
Блин, меня удивляет, как много человек знает о том, что мадам Карлайл жива. Это не так должно работать, когда человек инсценирует похороны. Она сообщила об этом утром, да. Я знаю, но... Ладно, семье своей, но не всем же слугам и вообще всем на свете. Я думал, когда ты инсценируешь свою смерть, ты хочешь, чтобы об этом никто не узнал. А тут целый дом ходит и об этом разговаривает. А в этом доме живет так-то пара десятков человек. Мистер Фернсби. Пойдем чисто по сюжету.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shithole? It's like you belong to clubs in London. I bet you're a great dancer.
I don't like dancing.
What about restaurants?
Блин, сейф, они там какие-то цифры говорили, когда шли. 50-85, 58-05. Перед тем, как сесть на стул, есть, сэр.
Yeah, keep it real.
Keep it real. Yo, shit. I'm cool, man. Целых 4 локации, одна из них секретная, ты смотри.
Looking good today,
This is
sir.
Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
Your detective skills have gained you access
Keep it real, check it out.
to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
Your niece, Emma Carlyle, murdered your brother Zachary.
My niece? Emma is not my niece. She's my daughter-in-law.
And your niece.
Mhm.
Emma is the illegitimate child of your late older brother Montgomery, who you and Zachary killed 46 years ago.
That's preposterous.
You asked me to find out what happened to Zachary. Would you rather not know?
No. No, go on.
I found a letter from Emma's mother, Jane, who was the fiancée of your older brother at the time of his death. She witnessed how you and Zachary pushed him off the balcony. She believed you did it to steal the Carlyle empire from her and her unborn child. And she raised Emma to reclaim what she lost, marry your heir, Gregory, get revenge, and secure the Carlyle empire for her bloodline generations to come.
Emma is the daughter of Montgomery and that local girl, Jane.
She is.
Well, the girl got it wrong. I didn't steal anything. I did what was necessary to protect the future of the Carlyles. Montgomery wasn't cut out to take over from father, all heart and no balls.
Emma used the funeral gathering to speed up her installment as the lady of the house, seizing the opportunity to stage Zachary's suicide. She did her homework, used a poison
She did her homework.
one of Zachary's rare plants, found old floor plans from Thornbridge Manor to gain access to his room through a secret passage.
That scheming bitch.
More than you think. I found proof that she will try to poison you next.
Well, I'll have to take care of that. Thank you, Mr. Whitmer. You have not disappointed. I promised you I would reward you generously if you solved the case. So, what do you suggest?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Edwards, the constant. But how do you... Oh, I see. I expected you might show up. But to kill me, not help me. But I've been wrong on so many things lately, so why not this one? I will give you the file on Edwards. You've earned it.
Чего? Так просто?
I don't suppose I could convince you to deal with my daughter-in-law now you're here. I would like to see her dead. No? What a shame. I'll have to see to it some other way then.
How are you, sir?
The file you want is in the safe. God, I hope.
Good work, 47.
The file you want
That's
is
the file on Arthur Edwards secured.
God,
Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
Please remain seated, Mr. Whitmer. Thank you. Now, where were we? The file you want is in the safe.
Да, я взял уже.
God, I hope you get Edwards and make him hurt. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Опа. Мне продолжать или лучше загрузиться? Там что-то кипиш какой-то начинается. Там явно какой-то прикол будет. Загрузись? Ну, давай посмотрим. Там что-то прям интересное. Ты подожди. Не, ну она такая, типа... Обвини других двоих. А там интересно тоже диалоги?
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat, please. Go ahead.
Mr. Fernsby.
Mr. Fernsby killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother.
Дарсия, ну это понятно.
Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I'm sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards? The
У меня
constant...
камера на часах.
But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. Where are you going? Right. Where were we? The file you want is in the safe.
1975.
I need some privacy. Thank you.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
Просто для очков. И третий у нас остался... Ну, что это просто самоубийство. Я еще один способ убийства сделал, чтобы мне больше очков навалили.
Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion.
Да, это просто Закари, он сам умер. Ничего страшного.
Your brother committed suicide.
I need to see some evidence to believe that, Mr. Whitmer.
Zachary was found dead in a room locked from the inside. He died from a rare poisonous plant he cultivated himself. He believed you were dead, and a suicide note explained that he did not have the courage to go on without you.
That's what I don't buy. I cared for him deeply, but the truth is he hated my guts. My death would not make him commit suicide, I can promise you that.
Perhaps the death of your older brother, Montgomery, then. I have found evidence showing that you and Zachary killed him nearly 50 years ago. I believe that was when Zachary turned recluse. Your brother recently uncovered proof that your past deeds were for nothing. A letter from Montgomery stating that he wanted you, Madame Carlyle, to take over from your father instead of himself, as you were better suited to the job. Everything would have turned out the way you wanted, without anyone dying. What broke Zachary once, now destroyed him.
And you saw this letter?
I did.
Oh, Zachary. How royally I fucked up. Mr. Whitmer, I'm sorry, I just need to gather my thoughts. Right. The payment for your services, have you decided on an amount?
Не трогай.
Arthur Edwards. You have a file on him.
Arthur Edwards. How do you... I see. Well played. For many, many years I feared what I'd see when I finally met death. And now you sit before me, and I feel only peace. You see, I believe life is a fair fight, and I lost spectacularly in every way imaginable. It is time for me to leave the pit. Oh, before I get to that, your reward. The file you want is in the safe.
Неужели она сама спрыгнет?
A last wish from a dying woman.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured.
And
time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
So long. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Какая жесть.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Вот это жесть.
No need to panic.
I can't forget his eyes. They were so swollen.
Не, ну концовка у миссии прям жесткая. Просто взяла и спрыгнула. Так, неужели у моего дружища проблемы? Что со связью стало? Добрый вечер. О, привет. Да я что-то решил, что это... С меня хватит, понимаешь? Захотелось опять стать похожим на школьника. Так, ключи от катера, по-видимому, были необходимы или что? Или где? Где вообще катер? Ого. Вот черт. Ты сами был вылитый 9 класс? Понял. Чё случилось-то? Чё за херня? Неужели он моего этого... Какой он там? 6-й, да? Он или 9-й? Я не помню его номер. Неужели его тоже... На него напали? Жесть. 40 тысяч, нормально. Седативный яд. Супер отмычка. Тайники, начальных точек много. Шортболлер. А ну-ка, что там за видео будет? You owe him nothing.
47. Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah?
How about now? Over here! Cover me!
Цикада.
Walk away! Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't.
Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.
Хоть бы слезинку пустил, слышь, это его кореш детства. Я такое не прощаю. Вон, если бы варяг себе так сделал, я бы как бы это... Ну, слезиночку бы хоть одну-то точно уронил. Ну, одну-то точно. Блин, что-то жесть жесткая в этом вашем Хитмане происходит. Ему похуй. А мне говорит, вообще похую. Вообще, говорит, полностью похую. Вот. А что там выпилился чел? Ну, потому что его хотели взять живым, а он такой, живым я не дамся! И все. Вот. У нас дальше получается Барлин. Чунцин. Мендоза. И в Карпатах все кончится. Почему осуждение? Что не так? Никаких осуждений. Все, короче, будем мстить в следующий вторник. Ну, это точно. У нас как бы Хитман вторник. Все. И это база, и это главное. Вот. Кошку пришлось убрать.